That's the doorbell at Jimmy's house. Now, when you come to my house, my doorbell sounds like this.
Hey, welcome to the People's Weekly. I'm here with Canadian Glenn, as always. What's up, Glenn?
Buenos dias. Welcome, everybody, to our promised 421 show.
Yeah, I had to work yesterday, and I gave them all an awesome mix at midnight, East Coast time, on 420. I'm choking.
Well, that's okay. We didn't need any spotlight yesterday.
Yeah, I got this weird thing where I'm hearing myself. So, I'm trying to solve that issue.
These things happen.
Well, yeah, but I have a weird delay, and I don't know. Windows keeps doing weird stuff to this show. They hate us. Anyway, I'll deal with it and then figure it out another time. I assume it has something to do with buffer size or something.
Oh, who knows? It could be something left open, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. Spreaker's funky because the mix show was like cool on Twitch, but on Spreaker it was really screwed up. Yeah, this is bothering me to hear myself.
Trippy. Okay, we'll kill the tune and see if that changes it.
Oh, I didn't even realize that was still going. Goodbye, tune. No. Yeah, I'm gonna have to just deal with it. It sounds like there's me after. Every time I say something, I hear myself afterwards. I'm gonna try something. You still hear me, Glenn?
Yeah, I hear you. And I'd say it's a matter...
I think I fixed it. I think I fixed it. There we go.
Well, there you go. You fixed it.
Hang on. You know what? Let's listen to the awesome spot.
People's Radio United.
Oh, I think I fixed it. There we go.
All right.
And thank our wonderful audience for sitting here with us through this technical difficulty, as always. So yeah, a lot of crazy, terrible, tragic stuff has been going on, but there's also been a couple good things. The first one being yesterday was 420 Day. God damn it, I hear myself again. I just thought I fixed it. Anyway, yesterday was 420. A lot of people did 420 things.
Yes.
Hey, Smoker, I see you're in the chat.
But
check.
Wasn't, it's, this is what, the second year in a row now where it's been a different 420. But, whatever.
Different how?
Well, I mean, for instance, the city of Vancouver, which is pretty much known globally for its 420 Day, the last time, I think it was 2018, I remember it was really bad. They used to have a big 420 rally at a beach in Vancouver, Kitsilano Beach, and there's a park there. And the biggest issue about the 420 Day that year was the bill for something like $85,000 that the city had to pick up to clean the place up after it was over.
Wow.
So
I bet some people that were hired to clean up found some weed.
Oh, I'm sure they did. I would expect they did, but It was legal then already, but yesterday the mayor of Vancouver and the commissioner of parks put out messages on social media that, you know, the city of Vancouver has 420 parks in it. Like everybody doesn't have to come down to Kits Beach and fuck it up again. Shouldn't be here anyway, and those kind of numbers. So they encouraged everyone to go to a park and celebrate 420. Just go to the park nearest you. Don't all come down to Kits Beach.
Yeah.
And apparently a good time was had by all.
Yeah, it's rough with the virus thing. But at least now people are starting to have their shots, and hopefully people are still wearing masks. And a lot of people even had the virus, so I don't know. It depends where you are. Still not safe out there yet.
Nowhere near. I mean,
yeah.
We've talked about it over the last few months. Will society learn anything from 100 years ago? Well, apparently not. I mean, earlier on this timeline, India was bragging about how well they had it under control. And, now look, it's just insane over there. And it's going to get a lot worse. It's going to get a lot worse a few places. The variants are serious business. And the reluctance of people to try and brand shop which manufacturer's vaccine they get, or just still the reluctance to be vaccinated. It's antisocial. That's the easiest way.
Yeah.
It sums it all up. It's like you're not interested in society. So
yeah, and then there's all the conspiracy theory, weird crap going on too. We went into that a couple weeks ago. Now it's the mark of the devil and microchipping and blah, 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 blah.
Well, I mean, if that stuff didn't generate revenue, it wouldn't be happening.
Yeah.
So, that's what it's all about. I mean, that should be obvious to everybody. There are people that will say anything for a buck. They don't care.
The problem isn't so much maybe the people that say anything for the buck, it's the people that believe them.
Yeah, but that's a societal issue. People are stupid.
Gullible.
Yeah. So, that's a much bigger problem. And it's not an accident. But, it's just like when you have 10 kids that all want to go on the same slide at the same time. You shouldn't be telling them that the slide is broken. You shouldn't be, I mean, why? You're a party pooper. Fuck you.
Yeah. This delay is so annoying. But anyway. Okay. Yeah, there was some, I guess, good news yesterday. Derek Chauvin was found guilty on all 3 charges. The problem with that is just one of them out of thousands and thousands of cops that get off, and he hasn't been sentenced yet. There's been cops that's been convicted with really light sentences in the end, or the lightest possible, Well,
I mean, there are so many angles to this in a bigger picture, all the way back to D.C. So, I mean, is the Minneapolis Police Department trying to, kind of make themselves out to be what will be sold as a model for a new police department? Is this just the first step? I mean, I'm not saying that it was completely cynical that all of the people above Chauvin in the police department that sat on the stand and said, yes, he's guilty. You know, there's a certain amount of an example, yeah, but it's not like it's an unfair example. The guy fucking did it. So these people whining about him being made an example of, well, don't commit murder, stupid.
Yeah.
Then you won't be made an example. But I'm just kind of worried that I think the Biden administration is well aware that there has to be some symbolic, not necessarily tangible events or things to get people's minds off police reform for a while. You know, because, I think we agree that's what the Democrats are about. They're just into massive distraction. Make you feel good instead of make you feel afraid, which is the Republicans' bread and butter.
Yeah.
So,
evidently on Twitch,
I think.
Can you hear me? Yeah,
Yeah.
they're saying on Twitch I'm echoing too, so I'm trying to fix this all while you talk.
Okay. But, that's one angle of it. But yeah, based on the face value that basically the entire department owned up to a certain amount, that they basically said, this is the guy that we let do this for a long time. And now we understand it's wrong. So yeah, he's got to go. So there better still be some follow-up and some follow through for this position they took in a public court as the police, as the command of the police. They came out and said on record, we got big fucking problems. Well, okay, what are you going to do about it? And I'm afraid that DC is going to jump in and say we're going to have a pilot program and this and that, and they're going to have federal administrators on hand for a good reason this time, not like in the past in Philly and New Orleans, where the Department of Justice had to come in and run the police department under administration because that's how corrupt they were. They're going to spin it a little different, but, just like it took less than a decade for pretty much every police department in the United States to have military hardware, this could be the start of the next model happening, all because of, for once, and I did like the comment from the Minnesota, I think it was the Attorney General, that said he's not going to call this justice. He's going to call it responsibility. And I agree with that. It's good to see him say that. Whether it means anything at the end of the day, we'll find out. But at least,
know who didn't say that?
Who?
Nancy Pelosi.
Oh, man. What she said was just completely fucking tone deaf. It was from the last century, and it was just crass.
Yeah, like where the fuck is she at? Mentally, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, Celeb, if you're still on the Twitch, let me know if I'm still have a delay or not. I think I do because I hear it.
It'll be interesting to see what happens in the bigger picture. I mean, obviously with that shit in Brooklyn Heights as well, which ain't far from Minneapolis, this ain't going away. And I don't know, it's getting very hard to get consistently accurate reporting from the ground in Minneapolis and in Brooklyn Heights, just like it is in Portland sometimes. What a surprise. So, I like we've talked about before, Uncle Joe isn't into these festering protest things to go on for weeks and weeks. Trump just turned it into an opportunity to mislabel and point at something and say them. Biden would rather that it just kind of, you know, cools off.
It's gonna kick up. It's gonna
No,
kick up,
it
and
should.
Biden's gonna do the same bullshit they all do. Send armed police in, maybe National Guard, etc.
Well, I mean, that's the other factor, though. I mean, the National Guard is at the beck and call of the governor. And, you know, I've heard reports that there are up to 5,000 National Guard in the Twin Cities and in Brooklyn Heights. Well, that's more troops than official American troops in Afghanistan right now. So, what the fuck?
Yeah. It's really just crazy. Like they say, what are we going to do to keep the protests peaceful or to stop the protest? Fucking convict the cops.
Yep.
Convict the criminals that are within the government and their little minions. It's really not that hard.
Well, as soon as the verdict was read, all the right-wing usuals started, you know, warning about the Rodney King riots that were going to happen. Did you hear about anything at all?
As far as what?
Destructive rioting because Chauvin was convicted?
Maybe wherever they hang Confederate flags regularly, they might have been upset. I mean, there's people out in the streets cheering and celebrating and pretty much happy yesterday. The mood got way more jovial once he was convicted because Cass was thinking like, dang, because, you know, the news was saying you have like an hour, then you have 30 minutes, they're going to read the trial thing. Then they read it like 15 minutes early. But everybody's waiting. Are we going to have to go out there and tear some stuff up? Or are we going to have to go get into it with the police? Are we going to be gassed? Or are we going to be able to sit back and smoke gas with the homies for 420, you know? And then, so it's kind of like a little bit of a relief, but not really, because LAPD done killed 8 people, 9 people, 10 people in a month or less or something like that. So it doesn't stop. Just before the, or just after the verdict, or before, right around that time, the police murdered a young girl, 16, 15 years old or something.
In Columbus,
Ohio. Yeah, I have it in my phone. I just can't seem to find my phone. Everything's discombobulated today, Glenn.
It's because it's Wednesday, not Tuesday, I guess. I don't know. I'm making up an excuse. I don't know. I have no idea. But I find it rather interesting and a sign of the times. Again, you know, I'll default to Marshall McLuhan. The media is the message. Look how they tried to build it up. Like, it just reminded me of like when the OJ verdict came out. It was an event. Everybody, this is when it's happening. You have to watch here, you know? They tried to do the same type of thing, not as loudly, because it wasn't a black man on trial. It was a white man. I think that's the reason behind that. But it just seemed to me to be the same. They were trying to sell a jury verdict instead of reporting a jury verdict. That's a big difference. But it is what it is, you know? That's how shit is. Now sports.
Everybody's seen this snuff film how many times?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Back in like what you know, when you're younger, you hear the stories of the people that go kill people and film it, and then some sick rich sickos want to go pay them a bunch of money for these videos or whatever. That's what the police are doing, but now they're just giving to everybody for free. They're just killing people. It's disgusting. I put out videos, Glenn, today on Twitter, a couple of videos of police in the UK dealing with people with knives.
Yeah.
You know what they didn't do?
They didn't shoot him 4 times in the chest?
Exactly.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. And I mean, I really don't understand how people cannot just simply acknowledge that. There's no other country in the world that uses the amount of deadly force domestically that the United States does. Nobody comes even close. Not Communist China, not Russia, not anybody. I mean, it's hard to find anywhere else in the world where it's not just an occurrence, but it's routine that when police show up, within 30 seconds, somebody's probably dead. And cops in other places just don't operate like that.
Yeah. We said I'm playing the wrong video actually to the person asking on Twitch. But it's just random footage from our YouTube channel, People's Radio United. But it was not the intended video for today. We're just having major technical difficulties all of a sudden. So my apologies.
See, now that's something for everybody to look forward to in the future. The time will come when you can play that video on Twitch.
Was just like the normal background video we have is pretty much like this, but it's black and white and it has has more information on it. So someone watching it will say, "Oh, I know what I'm watching," instead of "What the fuck am I watching?" Anyway, so yeah, it's really out of hand. This verdict of Derek Chauvin is pretty insignificant, in my opinion. I mean, it's a happy thing. It's like, oh, they got one finally, but by no means is Pelosi's ultimate justice because of George Floyd's sacrifice happening.
Wow. That is just so fucking wrong. It's a murder is not a sacrifice. That's why it's a murder.
It blew my mind when I heard somebody told me that. And then I looked it up and then I read and then I watched. I'm like, oh my gosh. She's a real sick person. She needs to quit her job and go back and eat ice cream out of her refrigerators. Her $30,000 refrigerators.
It's just
she doesn't represent us. Sorry.
Oh, it's the poorest choice of words to get a message across she could possibly come up with. Like, if anything, I would have expected something along the lines of "he didn't die in vain," which is also bullshit. Of course he died in vain. But, that would have been a lot better than what she said. But whatever, she's an old bat, so sitting on the porch drinking mint juleps, that's probably about, as sanitized as she can make it. But yeah, just another stupid old white person comment. That's all.
She's a politician.
The boomers, some of them are going to tarnish their generation long past when they should have stopped, but they won't.
Yeah, she's a little bit bigger than the average old white person.
Yes.
She has power. And she's supposed to be doing our bidding, but she's not.
No, she's basically an executive vice president of media relations. That's about all she is. And she has her job by tenure. That's another important fact, people. She has her job by tenure, not talent.
Yeah, like we said before, politicians should be at-will employees like we are. Well, at least here in California.
Yeah,
We
I'm good
should
with
be able to
that.
get rid of them for any time, at any time, for any reason. Old white person, a bit racist. Well, Glenn is a white person, so I don't think he could be racist. Are you self-loathing, Glenn?
What?
I'm reading one of the chats. I don't understand your first. I suppose it's routine that police and criminal activity, I guess, could be better, but saying police is generally no point. Floyd and Chauvin worked together for years. I'm sorry, I don't understand what that means. If you can clarify, we could talk about it for a minute. So yeah, and anyone else listening, I'm talking slow. It's because I got this weird delay in my headphones and I can't work it out right now, and we're live and I don't want to accidentally cut off anything. So I know I'm cutting you off more than usual too, Glenn, because I'm hearing two of me really loud in my headphones. And if I try to turn it down, I lose you.
Wow. See? And if this would have been 420, that wouldn't have happened because it was 420.
If it was 420, I'd have had a better excuse, which might be the same excuse now. you never know.
We'll see what research shows.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
We'll see what research shows when the show is done. Then we'll be able to find that out.
Yeah. So did you hear about LAPD and the lawsuit that they're supposed to not use, well, the way they're framing it is no more use of less lethals during protests?
Yeah.
But that's not what it actually is. What did you hear about it, Glenn? I'll tell you what I heard about it.
Well, I mean, there's not a lot of detail. I mean, if you really want, like for me, somebody from completely outside that environment, to find out what it's about through any one of the media sources in the LA area, be it the Times or KTLA or somebody like that, if you want to know what the fuck it's about, you probably have to click through about 4 pages. They just, they compartmentalize the issue so well. And they're just trying to make it, what I see, about a battle in court instead of why there's a battle in court.
Yeah, I just don't think it's going to matter. Because when you get into it, if the police, all the police really have to do is give dispersal orders within so many minutes first. Loud dispersal orders that everybody could hear, supposedly. Secondly, if anybody attacks a cop, they can use them. And police can be attacked for all kinds of reasons. Sometimes they make up that they were attacked. Sometimes other cops, not dressed like cops, attack them on purpose to start stuff. It just seems like there's way too much leeway still. Maybe it's a little better than it was, but if you're going to say all you have to do is give dispersal orders first, and then if you feel like you've been attacked, one of your pigs has been attacked, then they can go ahead and, you know what I mean? Start dropping the flashbangs, gas, and rubber bullets like crazy.
Well, I think what it does is it codifies the way they're going to disrupt protests. It's almost, I see it like they're saying, okay, here's the rules. This is the way we're going to do it. Because exactly like you said, okay, well, we give our order, start the countdown until shit goes off. See, all it does is give them power. If you give them a protocol to follow where they can do it legally, that's to their advantage, not the protesters. This is laying out how it's going to happen. And they're going to make sure they follow it. And they're going to say, yeah, see, we followed it. That law that you wanted, well, the law that ended up coming out, we're following it. So fuck you. You didn't change fuck all. I think that's what's going to result, really.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to get change, man. It's so hard to get any real change. They'll give you platitudes. They'll give you things that sound like they're change that really aren't. And then they'll just keep funding the police more and more and more. But anyway, let me just real quick. So I guess they Dainty Fidget refined what they were saying. It says, I mean, Floyd and Chauvin worked at a bar together for years, but it was never brought up in court. Not being a dick, just saying. Well, yeah, I mean, I think it was not relevant because it didn't have anything to do with their job. And as far as I know, he didn't murder him because he knew him. So I think it was just irrelevant.
Coincidental.
Don't you see you defend the media's purpose, defend black rights while defending all rights of all citizens? Not so hard. I don't understand. I think I do defend the rights of all citizens. Are you one of them White Lives Matter people? Because if that's the case, you're just a racist. Anyway, this delay is annoying. I got to get this fixed before the next show, Glenn.
Well, what's going to happen now in Columbus? I mean, we were discussing this before the show. Everybody has seen the body cam. And most of the apologists are all saying that the cop actually saved a life. This premise that if you get cut with a knife means you die, compared to being shot and you die, are nowhere near compatible. That's just a straw man. It's garbage. There's nothing there. But, as long as it justifies the action of police, the same old crowd is going to jump for it. Never mind what's unspoken about the rest of that little explanation they're giving. But like we said before the show, I mean, this reminds me of Derek Rice. Not in the exact same way, but in the time it takes for a cop to open his car door to when somebody's dead. This is just ridiculous. This just doesn't happen anywhere else but the United States.
That's true. Yeah, it was unnecessary. Like I said earlier, I released some videos. Check out my Twitter. I didn't release them. I just linked them from YouTube, showing UK police taking out people with knives, and what they didn't do was shoot them. They gave them some time. They had shields. They had batons, and they stopped them. Nobody got shot. Hang on real quick. So they're saying you were venturing on racism, really, by defending rights of one group is racist. I didn't know I defended rights of one group. If the cops are killing black people, I'm going to defend the people that they're killing. When they killed Kelly Thomas, who was a white son of a cop, I defended him. It just happens that cops slaughter black people and Latino people at a higher rate due to population than they do white people. It's just a fact. They got to stop murdering everybody. I want to abolish the police. The police don't need to exist. We can do better. So yeah, I'll never defend the police. The police are not a race. The police are not anything. It's just a job. It's a career choice, a poor career choice, in my opinion.
And for more and more, it's a follow-up after their discharge from the Army. You know, that's the other thing, too. You want to look at what happened in Columbus. That's the kind of stuff that WikiLeaks was releasing. That's the way shit happened in Somalia and Iraq and in, you know, parts of Afghanistan for a long time. For, you know, like a decade. So you wonder why you see the same behaviors in your domestic police. Well, quit hiring all the veterans from the Middle East wars. Get them a real fucking job when they get home.
Well, that's the thing. They come back and they look at us like the enemy, the insurgents. Hold up real quick. They said, what cop would target black people? Too sad you believe that. All whites are... Oh, too bad you believe that all whites are racist. I didn't say that. I don't even believe that. But yeah, I do believe that cops would target black people. And say defund the CIA instead if you have the balls. You should listen to some of our past shows. Wow. Yeah, you don't know me very well. But anyway, yeah, defund the CIA, defund the United States, close the borders. Open up all the borders. I didn't mean close the borders. Open up all the borders. I'm an anarchist. No gods, no masters, no nations, no borders. So yeah, defund it all. I'm an anti-capitalist, so I don't know what your point here is. Go back and listen to our shows, you know. Go way, 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 way back 5 years. I don't change. So yeah, we're just new to Twitch.
Freaky.
They want to defund the CIA but say we need police. Why do you need police? I don't understand that. What would you ever need to call the police for? Give me some examples because I don't know. I mean, if you're in a fire, you call the fire department. If you're injured, you call an ambulance. If someone's shooting stuff up, you get your people with guns. I mean, it's that simple. We don't need police. Sheesh. You gotta start to think different. Not just you. I'm not knocking you. I'm knocking people. You know, you gotta think of how things could be in a different world, a better world, a world that's more equal for everybody. A world without all the little division like this country, that country, this group, that group.
Another thing about stuff like Columbus, it brings up the question again about immunity.
Wait, one more second. Street crime. That's why you need police? Is that what you're saying? It says you are all involved in street crime. Get politically active. Get like MLK. You are not going to achieve that world with riots. You need to read more about MLK and some of the things he said. Not just the happy white people version of MLK. MLK said a riot is a language of the unheard. He also says, I fear I have integrated my people into a burning house. You should hear what he say about the white liberals. They as bad as the white racist conservatives. Yeah. Do your research. For real, do your research. And all these white people hailing MLK now, those are the same people that hated him back then. He was hated. He was hated just like the people today that these racists hate. No different. They hate Kaepernick now. They hated MLK back then. They hated Malcolm X for real. They hated Huey Newton. Oh my God, they hated him. These people are heroes. And what happened? They were assassinated. It's not problematic.
Right.
It's the history they should be teaching us. They're saying that if you're reading the chat, they're saying, I know MLK and Malcolm X, they don't even teach that in units anymore. Too problematic. They never taught it. They give a whitewashed version of it in this country. I'm assuming you're from the U.S. I don't know. Because Glenn's from Canada. I'm from the U.S. Different people are from different countries. But in the U.S., they don't teach us about that. They give us this little whitewashed, brief version. Now, in college is different. People study things, but as far as the education everyone gets, it's bullshit. The history's so watered down, and
The victor writes history. There ain't no changing that.
no.
It's always been that way.
Well, a lot of people write history, but Victor's version is the one that's deemed reality or accurate.
Well, yeah.
Correct?
Well, you can go back 5,000 years to ancient Egypt. When there was a change in dynasty, previous pharaohs may just have disappeared. All their monuments gone, their cartouche carved off everything. No, that didn't happen. So, let's talk about cancel culture, shall we? And it wasn't because of a communist uprising that it happened. The furthest thing from it. But, hey, that's just facts and shit. Whatever. Twitch, eh? Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm from U.S. I read Malcolm X biography and watched MLK on the news. You forgot what they said. Jews killed Egypt. That's a silly truth. You gotta elaborate a little bit better.
Whoa, no, that's enough of this play-by-play, man.
Yeah. It's just, sometimes I try to give people the benefit of the doubt because I know, like, in text form, you can't get the meaning of some things. You can take things wrong sometimes. Because you don't have, it's easier when people say things to understand what their voice is saying. But yeah, it's getting wacky with the Jews killed Egypt. That's weird. Are you a conspiracy theorist? I'm assuming maybe you are. There are conspiracies because people conspire to do things. But when it gets too wacky and it takes like millions of people to be quiet about it, it's probably not real. But anyway, thanks for listening. Listen again. And if you clarify what you're saying and it's not batshit crazy, I'll respond again. All right, Glenn.
Maybe he's just waiting for this week's G-drop.
Oh, in the Spreaker chat, we have Smoker. Americans are bitches. Cops are necessary. If all cops did was their job, we'd be good. Smoker's a troll for those that don't know. He's our friendly neighborhood troll.
Yeah. I don't think he'll be on Twitch.
Yeet yeet.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's been a conflicting week, but yeah, I mean, I agree with you, and you say that, just the event of itself, of Chauvin being convicted of what he is guilty, no, it doesn't change anything. But what are they going to do with it? I mean, Uncle Joe did kind of tell the truth when he said, this is a big moment in civil rights right now. It is. But what are you going to do with it?
I don't understand that.
I mean, it took Pearl Harbor to get the Americans in World War II. They had, there's a lot more manufactured events like the Gulf of Tonkin, et cetera, et cetera. But just like Kennedy used the public angst to move forward because he knew it was the right fucking thing to do. People have to remember when JFK and Robert Kennedy decided to actually put into law a few of the things that all Americans deserved, they were going against the entire establishment. It could have never been done without the president being involved. And, since then, most things that take the president to get it done have been shitty instead of positive. But this is an opportunity to actually change the direction of things. The only question is, does Biden have the guts? Or the interest?
But yeah, I was going to say, he doesn't. He's a cop loving jerk face, fascist. Biden's not gonna. He's not gonna do anything right. You got to understand. A lot of people be like Pelosi said, think it's all over.
Yeah.
Chauvin was arrested. Justice was served. Everything's good now.
Well, I mean, that's just it. It's a choice. Can actually do something or business as usual. We'll find out. We'll get confirmation soon enough.
Yeah. I'm really wondering what the sentence is going to be. That's what I'm stressed out about.
Well, how long is it going to be till sentencing? Do we know that?
I heard 4 weeks and I heard 6 weeks, so I don't know. Originally, I'd heard 2 weeks, so I'm hearing all these different times from different outlets. And this probably over the last week, even before they were talking about, like, if sentencing happens, it would be, this many weeks after. So I'm sure some people could look up. They might have already set a date. I just don't know it right now.
Well, I think what they're just, it's a wait and see. It's a wait and see. All the way from Merrick Garland in D.C., all the way down to the Minneapolis level for the district attorney. Everybody's watching to see what happens. If there's any kind of protests or anything for leniency, then that's going to change what happens. And this was a jury that unanimously convicted on those 3 counts. That's as much license as the system's ever going to get to make a huge fucking example out of Chauvin. Yeah. I think he's going to go away for the rest of his life because that's the safest thing that can happen for the system. And that's what they're after now. How do they cover their own ass moving forward? Okay, this is over. They got this victory. Now make him fucking disappear. Not available to the press, nothing. Just make him go away.
Yeah. I'm wondering about all these other ones. There's all these cops, they haven't. They justified the
Yeah.
shootings. There's a couple other ones that got arrested. They're going to get light sentences. Yeah, this isn't what people seem to be hailing it as.
Well,
I
it's
think
better than
maybe,
him walking out of the courtroom.
well, that's what was expected, right? That's what we've
Well,
always seen
yes
every
and
other
no.
time.
Yeah, but this one, I think it did seem like he can't walk. There's no way that this one can walk.
Hey,
The system can't,
I seen a drive-by on a 12-year-old boy playing in a park, and they got off on video. Ain't no gangs can do that.
True.
Imagine if two gangbangers pulled up on a little 12-year-old boy playing in a park, and before they even got out the car, blew him away. On video. You think gangs gonna be like, well, he was a growing man, obviously. He looked like he was tall, and he was this and that, and, he was, blah, 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 and start, those guys did what they had to do. It never happens. But with cops, it happens.
That's true. That's true. But I mean, at this point in time, and him being a cop, George Floyd being black, the video, no, they could not let this one go. They had to be honest.
Yeah. I think it was just because he's on it's 9 minutes or something. He's on his neck. And he's just looking around, smiling, looking on this smirk. Like, whatever, I can do whatever I want. People are saying, get off. And he's just like, no, I'm going to defy you all until he's dead.
Yep.
It was just the I don't know how to describe it, but just the senseless, brutal nonchalantness of this one. Usually you just hear, ba, 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 ba. And then 3 months later, you get the body cam footage and they're like, oh, he didn't have a gun. It's done like this intentionally. They separate things. Usually you don't get the body cam footage. You get a picture, anything to try to make the cops look like they're innocent.
Yeah, something to pacify the media until they decide what they're going to do. Here's a crumb. This points you this way. That's the way we want you to look. We'll get back to you. It's no different than people posting the still of Ma'Khia Bryant. Same thing. Exact same thing. But, the other thing is, we'll see how much appetite there is in media to go with the Chauvin thing as well, because there's been a lot more that's been catching my eye in the media about things that are coming out about district attorneys' offices in the U.S., certain ones, certain police departments. There seems to be a temporary appetite for more dirt to be coming out in the press. And that's a good thing. You can't do shit. You can't get people motivated if they don't know it exists. So, that's good. I was hearing about the new administration in the Philadelphia District Attorney's Office, and the shit they're finding about the previous DA's administration, it sounds like the DA's got a RICO case against the DA. They had a file that had, I can't remember the number, of Philadelphia police officers that they knew just if they went on the stand, they would flat out fucking lie and didn't give a fuck. They had a file of which cops these were. And sometimes they wouldn't let them testify, and sometimes they sought them out to testify. This is a fucking DA. So, I mean, again, you know, how many people really understand how completely corrupted the entire system in the United States has become? This is the
Most people
this is
outside of the United States probably do.
Well, I mean, these are the type of folk stories that used to be told about what was wrong with the Soviet Union, what was wrong with East Germany, what was wrong with Poland when they were communist, because this is the type of shit that goes on. Everybody wants to get greased. Nobody gives a fuck what the rules are, blah, blah, blah. Well, here it is happening in the United States. So,
Yeah.
you know, so how can you really change, quote unquote, the system when this is the type of shit going on?
You can't change the system.
No.
You have to destroy the system and rebuild another better system.
And just imagine, it's because this new district attorney administration in Philadelphia had the motivation to clean up. They didn't have to. Could have kept right on going. And who would know? You know? So you look around. Is there anything that's legitimate in the administration of justice? Not only in the United States, but I mean lots of other countries for that matter. We trust them to follow the rules. When you were in school, did you make it seem you were following rules? How far you broke them is an individual choice. But I mean, what percentage of people, when they're in school, follow all the rules? 5%? Everybody else finds a way to follow what they're okay with and maybe not follow other stuff. That's just human nature. So if you think about people that have that much power, about people going to prison or not, people being charged or not, people losing their kids or not, if they really, really don't give a fuck, they've got way too much discretion and they need to be accountable. And it's not just the Americans, it's everywhere else that's a so-called liberal democracy. There's a lot of everyday things that nobody gives a fuck about unless it affects them. And that only creates too much power in the wrong place. So yeah, fix the system, reform the system? Yeah, okay, whatever. I don't think so.
It's impossible. We've been trying for too long. People have been trying to fix the system, and then there's those from within fixing the systems. You see what happens to quote-unquote activists who go into politics? They're the next corrupt politicians. Look at AOC.
I knew you were going to say that.
Look at Sanders. I can't comment on Corbyn, but I don't know enough. But they said he's like our Bernie Sanders, so I'm suspect to him too. Yeah, no one in politics is what they say they are. They're usually what their opponents say they are, but never what they say they are.
That's why it's called politics.
Parlor tricks.
Well, not that type of parlor. No thanks.
Oh, man.
Well, I mean, there's been lots of shit too in your neighborhood, still with the LA sheriffs, not only the LAPD. It kind of sounds like old Sheriff Dandy Villanueva there thinks he can tell Gascon to go fuck off. I don't think that's going to work out too good for him if Gascon is for real. Like, why is the sheriff getting so like Arpaio for LA County? Like, isn't that asking for trouble? Or does he think that he has that much more power than the DA?
He does, and I think he's got his little constituency, you know, the bootlickers, and they're gonna try to get rid of Gascon.
Wow.
I know it. You should hear him on the regular news, the local news talking about him. Like I said, he's a politician. I could care less. He's still doing better than some of the other ones. He's better than Lacey, right?
Yeah.
I mean, in American politics, you have to say, "Oh, I'm taking the lesser of two evils." That's all they give you. You don't have a third. You don't have a freedom choice. You don't have a righteous choice. You don't have a choice of somebody that cares about the people. You got evil and lesser evil. And sometimes it's hard to distinguish which one is the lesser evil.
True.
I mean, what did these people get? They got Trump, who doesn't say a bunch of racist shit all the time. That's Biden, basically. And he'll do a couple cool things that aren't so horrifying. All the meanwhile doing a whole bunch of horrifying shit, though, right?
Well, it's going to be interesting on that one, because if they actually do bring home all the official U.S. troops from Afghanistan and all their fucking gear, and yet they still want how much of an increase in the military budget? Like, what exactly are you getting ready for? You know, it's not making a whole lot of sense, unless it's just another 5 or 6 wars that we don't want to talk about that are going to flare up somewhere. They always have high overhead to get rolling. You know, but again, like we said, that's Uncle Joe's game. Look at the balloons over here. Look. Okay, keep looking there. I got to go behind this curtain. You know, I mean, that's a big advantage in some way. Instead of some idiot who wants to be seen leading everything and deciding everything and trying to take all the glory for himself, like 45, Joe just wants to get it done. We don't need fucking fireworks all the time. Just get it done.
Traditionally, that's what politics is. Look over here at what I'm saying when we do stuff the weekend before a big holiday or this or that, you know?
Yeah.
Nobody's paying attention. Social media makes it harder for them to get away with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's something else too. I'm seeing a lot of comments that without that 17-year-old girl taking that video of Chauvin, there's no way what happened yesterday would have happened either. So is this going to send a message that, are there any cops that are going to figure it out now that they're going to start to think that any street they stop in, they have to assume they're being filmed?
They are.
It's real. It's real now. This should be further fucking proof for them. You know?
I don't know. I was filming some today. They all had these guns out on some guy for quote unquote he had a gun, but he didn't have a gun. It was a call of a Mustang, guy driving a Mustang with a gun. All these cops, all the helicopter, all the cops in the world, all the guns, shotguns, regular guns, less lethal, beanbag guns, and no gun. But I was making some Derek Chauvin jokes today, and they didn't seem like they cared either way. I was like, y'all could be next. Y'all could be next. They didn't care. One of them was like smiling and laughing. Like always, you know how they do that.
Yep. You know, it is. It's just like the military, you know? When they all congregate back up into the squad and all meet for an op, it's just like the military. They all play their fucking role. You got perimeter, you got observers, and you got people doing executing the arrest, you know? It's just like the military. It's no different. And it seems to take just as many of them.
Yeah. It just blows my mind. These cops are such fucking cowards. Oh my God, somebody might get away, or somebody might pull a knife or whatever.
Yeah, because we don't have radios and helicopters. How will we ever find them again?
We don't have bulletproof stuff. We don't have helmets. We don't have riot gear. We don't, you know?
Yeah.
So stupid. And they pile on so many of them. Like the things they could do with 2 to 4 cops, they send like 5 cars with 10 cops in. It's unnecessary.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing that blows me away about watching your videos of the LAPD. It's like, holy fuck, man. Is there enough of you guys here or what? Like, my God, they come out of the fucking woodwork. But, you know, like you said, something here that would take 1 car and 2 cops. In LA, it's at least 4 cars and 8 cops. At least. Just 'cause, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I can't even imagine the difference in stress level living in a neighborhood like that. Like, I see the cops on my street every once in a while, and it's almost always 1 car. And then sometimes the wagon will show up, and then somebody will come out. But that's it.
Wait, what does the wagon do? Is that where they put the people into transport?
Yeah, the paddy wagon.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm thinking, well, if this was LA, there'd be at least 5 cars, and the wagon would be here right off the bat, and there'd probably be some shields out, you know? And it's like, it's just such a projection of power for the sake of power. That's it. It's just blind, naked intimidation. And that's not policing. That's enforcement. That's occupation.
Yeah, fuck off Nazi from the damn chat. Punk ass.
But again,
man, how do these racists find us, dude?
No. Whatever. The same way they always found shows on BTR and on Tiny Chat and wherever else. Same shit. New platform.
Yeah. I guess if I was a Nazi, nobody would like me, so I'd be at home watching internet stuff all the time, trying to find new content to troll. Because you can't take a Nazi seriously.
He can't troll sponsors.
No one controls sponsors, Glenn. Is it about that time?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, we went over everything. It's, you know what, this dang delay is driving me crazy. Imagine if every
Yeah.
time you said something, you hear it like a half a second later,
Yeah.
just as loud.
Well, the only way that happens for me is if I leave on the monitor switch for my headset. That's the only way that happens to me. Like if I want to see my level through my microphone and hear it, then there's a button. So that's the only way I get that echo, and yeah, I can't handle it.
Yeah, it's just, especially when I was trying to talk for a while earlier, I had to keep stopping, like, it gets weird.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I'm really angry, Glenn. I'm so angry. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go crazy. I'm so angry. Oh, my God, I'm so angry. And now she keeps telling me I'm angry in the chat, so I had to make him think, oh, he's really angry. Like I just said, I'm more annoyed because you're a waste of time. You're a waste of air. You're a waste of space.
He's just a troll.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't hear it yet.
You don't hear what? Oh, sponsor music. Hang on. Do you hear it?
Yes, I do.
It sounds like it's doubled up to me on my headphones.
Well, that's another hint then in trying to fix it.
Yeah, we might have to do another practice thing before the next show.
All right.
No, you know what I mean, just to see if we can get it right, because something's up with this.
Well, keeping it simple today, not deviating, straight ahead with old, reliable Gorilla Glue 4.
Nice. You still have that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I have this diamond wax still, and then some peanut buttery wax. I don't even know what it is, but it's bomb. And then for the tree, I got an OG, and I had this. You know what it's called? The one out, this purplish stuff called Tropicana Cherry. Fire.
Wow.
Yeah, but I just had the last of that, so I don't have that anymore. But I didn't get to give it a shout out, and it was worth a shout out.
I'll have to research that strain.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
It was fire. Although you might not like it. Because the dude I got it from said, you know, everybody who likes wax likes this. I don't know what that meant, but that's what he said.
As long as he knew, that's all that matters.
Yeah, I was loving it. It was real mellow.
Well, I think we covered everything we were going to cover
Yeah.
with our extensive preparation time.
Yeah, CNN ain't got nothing on us. As far as production value and all that. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to start getting out there more. I know there's a protest every Wednesday in LA now again. It's replacing the Jackie Lacey Must Goes. I might start hitting those up. It's just, you know me, I just sometimes I take some time off to get my mind right and get back out there. And this is one of those times in the last 2 months or something. So yeah.
Right.
So yeah, that was to say there should be a lot more videos coming soon for people who want to know what's going on. And there's great people out there, and they're way better than I'll ever be out there doing it. So check them out. These people, some of them are being, they need all of the support they can get. Like V-Shell Sing, V-Shell P Sing, follow them. You know how to count, Glenn?
Yep.
Yeah, and then there's Film the Police LA. Find the people that's doing the most out there right now. Because they doing it, and yeah, I haven't been out there in a minute. Well, not out there. I've been out there just filming police when I run into them. But yeah, music's up. Time to go. Thank you, everybody, for listening on the Twitch and Spreaker. It'll be up on YouTube soon. And, yeah, if you're a troll, racism isn't funny. Come with someone else. If you're a racist, die. That's that. Anything else, Glenn?
No, that covers it. Get vaccinated, people. Don't fuck around.
Yeah, definitely. Don't listen to these conspiracy theorists. All right, I'm cutting the streams. Stay up. Thanks, everybody.